Hey guys, welcome to Hops and Bops, a show where we review an album and review a beer at the same time. Today's episode we're doing Lil Nas X's Montero, and to pair with that we have the Sam Adams Jacko Pumpkin Ale. Let's try them out. Oh yeah. So I would say I'm a pretty big fan of Lil Nas X. I like the 7 EP that he put out. I liked a lot of his Old Town Road era. And even the singles off of this album were pretty fantastic. So with all this hype and momentum building up into the release of this album, I think he's one of the best faces to put out there into the pop scene, and myself and others are rooting heavily for him. The only thing is, I just wish this album was a bit more fleshed out for me. Don't get me wrong, I still liked it a lot. It's just a little too one-dimensional. However, the album does kick off with two of the lead-up singles, Montero, Call Me By Your Name, and Industry Baby with Jack Harlow. Two really fantastic singles. Get stuck in my head all the time, play them all everywhere I go, and really can't go wrong. And not only are the songs fantastic, but the music videos generate a lot of hype and buzz around them, which really just snowball his way into becoming such a household name already. But while I think a lot of what he does on the album is pretty consistent, the features are a little up in the air. I mean, just going down the list of features here, Jack Harlow on Industry Baby, I think is a fantastic feature. Really fits into what the style of the song needed, and puts his own kind of flair on it. I think is just a perfect fit for that track. But then you get down to Scoop with Doja Cat, which if you haven't heard this song before, listen to Spoil My Night by Post Malone. Almost exactly the same song, chord progression and everything. Even the little plucky little synth or whatever is back there sounds eerily similar, almost exactly. It's to the point where I hear that song and I can't not hear Spoil My Night, which is a vastly superior song. And then you get to Doja's feature on this, which doesn't really fit the style that he's going for. I like the themes of him avoiding the daily scoop, which is the title of the track leads into that. But it just does not fit together lyrically or sonically with the entire song. So then there's One of Me featuring Elton John, which is an okay track. I don't mind it too much, but Elton John's presence on the track is not really there at all. Here and there's some piano licks that I could see as Elton John, but you could put any kind of pianist on there. There's no real Elton John flair that you would really add to it. Granted, would he add a lot to the song if he had sung on it or done some kind of big feature on it? Maybe, but he's just not there. The song is okay. I like the self-confidence in the lyrics and the whole message behind the One of Me, but it just under-delivers for me. Then you get to $sign Slime featuring Megan Thee Stallion, which is a great track. I love this one. It incorporates those horns, kind of stabs, they're very staccato, that are borrowed from Industry Baby, which are a bit less fleshed out, but still very staccato and sharp. I like those. And she bounces all over the beat. She has a great performance on it, and it fits well with the themes of the track. Awesome one. Then it ends with Am I Dreaming featuring Miley Cyrus, which is a pretty decent track. I like it. It's a little snoozy, but I mean, it's the closing track of the album, so it's kind of expected. The only thing that gets me for the rest of the album with a lot of his solo tracks is that they're just a little too one-dimensional, kind of have the same feeling for the rest of the track. Even on like Dead Right Now, it's mainly the same progression, and it gets pretty stale after a while. Even tracks like That's What I Want, which are okay after a while, I like the sound of the track, but it's just a generic 4-chord strum guitar beat with some other drums behind it. After a while, it's gonna get stale. So I would like some more originality bumped up in the track list after this track. Even on tracks like Lost in the Citadel or Tales of Dominica, while they still have some elements to them that are interesting, it's just not that captivating, or it doesn't really catch my ear in some other ways. And there's just some cookie cutter generic formula to them that I wish he had a bit more variety to. And then you get to tracks like Void and Life After Salem, which he sounds like he's trying to go for a Joji style of song, where it's a bit darker, a bit more melodic. He even hits those high falsetto notes like Joji does. And while I think going for those are, adventurous and interesting, he doesn't really do that genre as big of a justice as he could have, and they just kind of fall flat on their face for me. However, on the track Don't Want It, I think this is a really interesting one. There are elements to it where it sounds a bit slower, incorporates a bit more guitar, they're just kind of open strums, and then builds up really heavily on the chorus, and he just starts kind of going wild. I like this style. You should do more songs like this. Obviously they're not going to blow up as big as some other ones, but a good change of pace for the track list. So overall, my thoughts on Montero. I thought it was an interesting album. I enjoyed it. A lot of the singles off this album were just fantastic. I forgot to mention Sun Goes Down too. Also a great track. I love that one as well. He carries his trailblazer attitude for a lot of the album on all the lyrics and some of the production as well. I thought it kind of stumbled in the latter half of the album. Could have picked up a bit more in there. But overall, it was a generally decent album. I enjoyed it. So now let's transition into the Sam Adams Jacko Pumpkin Ale. I think this is a genuinely delicious beer. You know, it goes well with a lot of fall foods, maybe like an apple cider donut or some pumpkin pie or something. It's only 4.4%, so it's not too heavy on you. 150 calories, so it's pretty decent on that end as well. There are some cinnamon and nutmeg aromas to it, which I think add a perfectly good kick to it, and a very slight citrusy taste, which is just, it rounds out the whole taste. It's great. Now, normally I'm not a big Sam Adams guy. They are a bit widely distributed, which sometimes can lose the quality of some flavors of beers. I do like a bit of the smaller end distributors, but they really delivered on this one, and I was genuinely surprised. So good stuff on them. So overall, I'm giving Montero a 6 out of 10, and I'm giving the Sam Adams Jacko Pumpkin Ale an 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what I should do next, and I will see you guys next time.